Hello everybody and welcome to Car Confections. Now you all know that the three-row SUV segment is a hot one. It's something that's coveted by many families and it is heating up. There is more competition than ever. And Volkswagen knows that, so they are refreshing the Atlas for 2024 and that's what we're standing in front of today. So we're gonna go ahead and highlight all the changes and see if this is the best three-row for your family to buy.
So what is this 2024 Atlas? Well, this is a very heavy refresh to the model. This is actually its second refresh, but this time it really goes a lot deeper. There's a lot of things to point out, especially on the inside, but we're gonna start, of course, with the exterior design. Now, Volkswagen does make this pretty obvious it is new because we've got an updated front end. I'm noticing here that this is a little bit more squared off than that traditional Volkswagen look. That again is just to kind of beef up this Atlas model and make it look tougher, which is the trend right now in three-row SUVs. The other thing, of course, is really updated lighting elements. So we've got this brand new light bar that's gonna go all the way across the grille and head into the headlights. This, draws that connection to their newest products, including the ID.4, the electric model. And speaking of the headlights, these are also new. So in addition to having that really cool signature bracket-shaped LED daytime running light, we also have the updated LED headlights. This is the REDESIGN model, I should point out. So you're gonna see sportier elements on board here, including a nice gloss black finish down here on our lower fascia. Now, this is the three-row version of the Atlas, but as you know, there's also a two-row version that's called the Cross Sport. And that version, basically Volkswagen has made some updates to make them look a little bit different from each other. And of course, as you can see earlier, you do have that lighted emblem, which is a new option as well. Let's take a look at our wheels. These look pretty similar to what we've had with the Atlas for a while, but we do have 21-inch alloy wheels. So that's a very large size for this class of vehicle. And I think as you look at the overall side design of this model, it really helps define the tough, rugged look. And then additionally, you do have the REDESIGN branding right here on the door. Now, I want to quickly show you something that's brand new to the Atlas lineup that wasn't previously announced, and that is a new Peak Edition. This is an off-road focused trim level. As you've seen with a lot of competitors to this Atlas, honestly, countless number of models are starting to have these off-road focused products. This is one of them, the latest version, and you'll be able to tell that right off the bat. So what do we have? We have a more rugged look overall. Of course, you still got the same updated fascia, updated lighting, but down here is where the change is. You got this tougher looking cladding, and that's gonna go throughout the rest of the exterior of the vehicle. Additionally, this element here on the fascia is new and exclusive to the Peak Edition. And then this right here is where the news is. This is kind of what gives you your extra capability. So we've got an 18-inch gloss black alloy wheel, but it's going to be surrounded by all-terrain tires. So that, like I said, gives you a little bit more capability off-road, although this, of course, is not going to be like a hardcore off-road model. And then right up here, you're going to notice you have Peak Edition branding, finished in gloss black, as well as our mirrors.
Now, in terms of your overall length, it's going to continue to be just a touch over 200 inches long for the three-row version. Now, of course, like Drew said, at the front, there is the Atlas Sport, which is going to be a little bit shorter than the full-size three-row Atlas. Now, I do really like the side design with the chrome pieces. We do have a chrome roof rail up top. And as far as the rear design for this 2024 Atlas, you're going to see a similar thing as what you see in the front. So they have not completely changed the entire design, but they've added a lot of cool elements with the lighting. So this taillight design is going to be completely new for the 2024 Atlas. As you can see, they basically took what was the current taillight and then connected it via this entire light bar through the middle. We have a lighted logo here in the back as well. I have to say, that's a really cool design element to have a lighted logo. I don't even think I've seen that on luxury vehicles. I've seen it in the front, but I don't know if I've ever seen it in the rear, and it has a very cool look to it. Now, of course, these are going to be full LED taillights. We have chrome piecing down below that. And then dropping to our lower area, since we do have the R-Line model, we're going to have a sporty body color finish down here. We're also going to have integrated exhaust pipes, and these are going to be faux quad exhaust outlets. Now it is just a dual exhaust setup, but they do have, you know, the piece here in the middle that makes it look a little bit more sporty. Now, as far as your tow rating is concerned, it's going to stay at 5,000 pounds, which is the same as the V6 2023 model. Now, as far as your safety systems, Volkswagen is going to offer the full advanced suite of safety systems as they have before on the Atlas, and is now going to have a predictive adaptive cruise control system. But guys, there are some big changes on the inside, so let's go ahead and check those out.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and climb inside here. Now, the exterior updates are nice, but really the area that needed the most upgrades was the interior, and that is, of course, where Volkswagen focused most of their attention. Really, the overall quest here was just to make things feel a lot more upscale. And you can really tell that as soon as you glance inside, that things look a lot more luxurious, and you do have certain things that are definitely more luxurious, including our seats. So let's start here. As you can see, we've got this new quilted design leather seat. Like I said, this is new for the 2024. We got a lot of perforation, a lot of quilting here. This is kind of Audi-esque in its overall design and feels a lot more premium than the previous leather seat. But I'm gonna go ahead and let Mason climb into the back so we can get an overall look at this cabin and take a look first at the materials. All right, so let's take a look first at our door trim. So we, of course, have leather all through the armrest. We have all leather through the center with perforation. We also have a very realistic feeling faux wood trim. This is going to be repeated all throughout the cabin, and it is soft touch along the top. Now, as we move to the upper dash, a nice soft touch plastic through here. Again, here's this large piece of faux wood trim running all through here. Really brings the cabin together. New vent designs. We also have some piano black accents, an area of leatherette with stitching. Our center tunnel is going to be finished in a piano black, and then we've got this leather pad that goes through the center tunnel here for your knees to rest against. Everything does feel very solid, which is typical for a German vehicle. Now your push button start is going to be located down here. It's now a square design. Now, of course, I'm inside, so I can't really start things up, but we do have a 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster on board, updated graphics, it is customizable, and additionally, there is an available head-up display. Now, one of the only elements that is similar to the previous model is the steering wheel. This is pretty much the same as what they had before. With the updated Volkswagen design, you have some touch capacitive buttons right there, and we have the R-Line branding on the steering wheel itself. I will point out over here with our headlight controls, if Mason can get over here, these are actually a new updated touch capacitive version. The wheel itself is going to be manual adjusting, and it is heated. But let's take a look at storage, because really the Atlas is just known for having so much storage, and that does continue for 2024. Huge center console, nice felt lining in there, storage right here. More storage, or cup holders, excuse me, more storage right here. Of course, to get your wireless phone charging pad with your 2 USB-Cs. And then this part is new. So we've got a center pass-through. And as you can see here, this is going to give you a ton of space with our new tunnel. This was previously not utilized, and like I said, it's going to give you a lot more functionality. The reason we have that now, though, is because we have an electronic shifter. So this is Volkswagen's new nub design, I guess you could call it. It's a very small and compact shifter, but it's easy to use. You're just gonna press back for drive, press forward for reverse, and then P for park. Let's move on up here. We've got our vents here. We've got a few buttons, but you'll notice no hard buttons for climate controls now. That's because just like some of the most recent Volkswagens have been moving towards, we have a lot of capacitive buttons that are added here to the screen system. So, of course, you're just going to be able to swipe to adjust the temperature through there. Of course, we've heard some things about that, so hopefully it does function more smoothly overall. We'll be able to test that out in an upcoming full review. This, though, is another big change. So we've got the brand new Volkswagen Infotainment system on board, and we have a brand new display. This is 12.3 inches, which is larger than any display you could previously get with the Atlas model. And the graphics on board here, really nice looking. As you can see, I'm swiping between some of our home screens. Performance seems really nice. Like I said, graphics looks really good. That's our home button right there. We can also adjust some climate things inside of the display itself if the vehicle was powered on. Up top here, we do have an auto-dimming mirror. We also have swipe controls for our sunroof. So this is going to be a panoramic style sunroof. This is not new to the Atlas, but as you can see, it is a very large panel of glass, and this front portion does open up.
Now this is a 3-row SUV after all, so you're going to have a very important second and third row. So let's go ahead and talk about that. We're looking at a little over 37 inches of legroom, a little over 40 inches of headroom, which is a very impressive headroom figure, guys. Now, I'm not a giant or anything. I'm 5'9", but you can see how much space there is between my head and the ceiling. It is quite large. Now, as far as how that compares to some of the competition, that's going to be a little bit less legroom-wise, but plenty of headroom for the segment, that's for sure. Now, here in the center, we do have vents. Dropping below that, we're going to have our own climate controls. Heated rear seats are going to continue to be offered. That was previously on just the top-end trim level, so I don't know if that would stay the same for 2024. Then dropping down below that, we have 2 USB-C ports, and we do also have a household-style outlet to keep everything charged up for the family. We do have a fold-down center armrest, and let's check out our door trim. It's going to have that new premium materials from the front, so we have that beautiful wood trim. We also have rear window sunshades, and we have some ambient lighting down below that, leather wrapping all through here, and a ton of door storage. This is probably the most door storage I've seen in the segment. Let's check out that third row. You just grab that little handle there that flips the seat up and out of the way and allows us to check out the third row. Now, once we get back here, you'll notice we have about 33 inches of leg room, which is very good for the segment. As you can see, we do have 2 seats in the third row itself, and these are very wide seats, so that's certainly very nice. And as far as how that compares to the competition, I'd say this is one of the most comfortable third rows in the segment. My thigh support is very good. The headroom is really good as well. We also have vents integrated here on the side, more cup holders, 2 USB ports on this left side as well. So overall, a very good third row in this Atlas. And checking out the cargo area for this refreshed Atlas model, here you're going to have a lot of space, guys. That's one of the things that Atlas has always been good about, is having a lot of space. We're going to have a little over 20 cubic feet behind the third row, 55 cubic feet behind the second row, and as a maximum 96 cubic feet of cargo capacity. That is a massive amount for this segment. That makes it one of the largest offerings. I think this and the Chevy Traverse are about the 2 largest in the entire segment space-wise. So very impressive figures. No power folding third row, even on this fully loaded example though, so do keep that in mind. And then up underneath the floor, we do have, we do not have a spare tire. Actually, we do. There we go. Underneath of the carpeting there, you do have a spare tire.
Now, you've seen the changes on the exterior, you've seen the changes on the interior, but there are some big changes under the hood as well. So the main thing, let's get it out of the way right off the bat. No more V6 is available, but we now have a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces almost exactly the same amount of power as the previous V6. So instead of the dual turbo 4 and V6 situation, now we just have the 1 turbo 4-cylinder with 269 horsepower across all of the trim levels. Now, paired with that engine, you'll continue to find an 8-speed automatic transmission. Of course, you have available all-wheel drive on all of the trim levels. And as far as fuel economy, we don't have any official EPA ratings yet. However, I would expect quite an improvement over the previous model, which actually was at 19 combined, one of the lower models in the class. Hopefully we'll be able to jump that up to one of the better options in the class with the turbo 4-cylinder. Now, when will this be available on sale? It will be available in Q3 of 2023, so you have a few months before this will go on sale. And as far as pricing, we don't have anything official quite yet. However, I'd expect in this very, very competitive segment to see prices remain very similar to what they are now. Meaning that you'll have a base price in the low 30s, ranging up to a little over $50,000 more than likely for this fully loaded model. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining us for this first look at the 2024 Volkswagen Atlas. We hope you enjoyed and learned something about this. Of course, stay tuned to our channel because we will have an upcoming full review on this model where we get to drive it and give you even more details than what we're showing you today. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, check out our TikTok and Instagram, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.